Hello and welcome. It's The Chat. I am Manny. The All Africa Games, known as AFCON, is about now on the way in Cameroon. I am expecting Nigeria to win. So are all Nigerians. But we have on the program this week one of the most controversial sports administrators you can think about. He's my guest on the program.
Gara Gombe is an IT specialist, an entrepreneur, a passionate sports enthusiast, a football administrator, two-time chairman of Gombe United Football Club, a sports consultant, former special advisor on sports to the Kano State Governor, and the founder of the now disbanded Bubayero Football Club. Born in the mid-60s in Gombe State, Gara, who is credited for being able to memorize the 60 chapters of the Quran at age 9, attended both his primary and secondary education in Gombe before moving to Lagos, where he enrolled at the International Center for Computer Literacy. He started his career as an IT specialist, trainer and resource person at Linus Computronics Institute, where he eventually grew into becoming the Director of Academics and Planning. He has led in different capacities in various organizations, some of which are Marketing Manager at Sigma Systems Limited, the Executive Secretary, Arewa Horse Racing Association, Founder and President of African Network Center in South Africa. In the field of sports, he was a two-time chairman of Gombe United Football Club, the Secretary, Nigerian Football Stakeholders Forum, Nigeria's representative to CAF Elective Congress, a member of the Technical Committee for the concessioning of the National Stadium Lagos, the youngest match commissioner in the history of Nigerian football at the age of 28, the founder of the disbanded Bubayero FC and CEO Green White Green Sports Center Limited. The dogged, controversial sports aficionado remains resilient in his engagement with sports administrators as he continues to speak for the betterment of the games. Gara Gombe is married, and the union has been a fruitful one.
Hello, Ahmed Shuaibu Gara.
Gombe.
You are, as I said earlier, a football enthusiast, an entrepreneur, a sports administrator,
Yes.
with so much controversy around your thoughts and contributions.
Yes.
Where did you pick football from?
I picked it up from my primary school.
Right.
Yes, and my uncle, who is my mother's younger brother, is one of the most prolific strikers to have come out from the northeast region from Bauchi. His name is Hamza Pila, Hamza Baba. He played for Zabgai International Football Club of Bauchi.
But did you kick the ball at all?
Of course I did.
In what position were you playing?
I used to play forward as a striker.
Really?
Yes, but I did not play it to professional level.
Why?
But, yes, because of parental intervention.
Oh, okay.
My father never wanted me to play football at all. I used to even jump the fence to go and play football. I come back.
You disobeyed your father in those days.
Yes, of course, like most
And you
children,
did not make
like most
anything
children do anyway. Yeah. So and I think also football is a sport that out of every 3 Nigerians, at least one.
You were a founder of a football club in Gombe in those days, Bubayero Football Club. How did that come about?
Yes, I founded Bubayero actually to, like I said earlier, to reflect on our identity, our locality, and also some of the founding fathers of Gombe, who happens to be Bubayero, one of the founding emirs of Gombe. Before I re-establish it, that is, I prefer that word, I re-established it in 2011 It existed in the 70s, but went moribund due to the emergence of a Waterboard Football Club and ABM Babes and then Gombe United. So, and I have also noticed that most of the clubs we have these days in Gombe are bearing names of Anderlecht Football Club in Belgium, Liverpool Football Club,
Why not? Why not?
No.
What's wrong with that?
Those clubs that you saw
Yes.
in other parts of the world that live 100 years old is because they identify with names with the community.
Yes.
Liverpool, Manchester, Anderlecht, all these are names of communities. So, but why should you go from Gombe and be forming clubs called Liverpool? And look at, and that is one of the areas that we even have general problems in the ownership of clubs in this country. Look at stationery stores, super sports stores. Super stores is almost a life of Lagosian stores. All of you and I know.
Yes,
exactly.
We used to go to the stadium in
exactly.
those days.
I happen to be a member of
That's where
Sports
I remember
Supporters
meeting
Club.
you. Yeah.
So when you hear those things, you know that is kind of affiliation with the community.
So what made it go moribund?
Yes, as at that time is the emergence of other clubs.
Bigger clubs.
Not really bigger, but they have sponsorship.
Financially buoyant.
Yes, exactly.
I was just talking about the Africa Cup of Nations, which is now referred to as AFCON. As we're talking now, it's about underway in Cameroon.
Yes.
What are your hopes and expectations?
Well, I think my hopes are dimmed, especially from Nigeria's point of view. And also from organizational point of view, my hopes are still dimmed for Africa.
So why are your hopes dimmed?
To win, it doesn't come from the blues. You have to prepare, you have to be ready for it. And the road leading to our participation in this particular edition is so rough, with so many uncertainties, controversies, and arbitrariness, which really does not add up to give you a good outing.
How do you think the preparations have been?
Honestly speaking, the preparation from what I have learned has not been good. It has been really bad, and I was even informed that there are issues about accommodation of our team. I also understand there are issues about the morale of the boys because 2 matches that they have played, they have not been paid their allowances, and they are going into a Nations Cup. Well, that has been a bit of a difference from the past, actually, because just recently the complaint was about 6 or 7 matches have not been paid. But now I was told it's just 2. Then also the transition from one coach to another.
Yeah.
And also us losing about 6 players to injury and to COVID replacing them almost in less than 3 days to the closure of the camp and all that.
A lot of coaches outside of Nigeria have regarded the tournament as maybe a piecemeal. You know what?
Honestly, it is an insult.
Klopp
It is an insulting to Africa for Klopp. Jurgen Klopp is the German who started this rubbish, and to try to discredit the African Cup of Nations, calling it a little tournament simply because he's losing about 3 players. Unfortunately for him, the same African Cup of Nations, the same Africa, gave him the players who gave him almost everything he has achieved in Liverpool, that he's trying now to discredit the tournament because he's losing 3 players for 1 month. A good coach, you don't have to worry.
The NFF president himself, apparently, he looks more excited about this competition than the Minister of Sports, isn't he?
No, the NFA president is an actor. Amaju is an actor. No wonder he's always sponsoring Nights of Thousand Laps. So I am not worried that I hear him being excited. His arbitrariness is what is killing Nigerian football.
What do you mean, arbitrariness?
His true no attitude. Look, today, if you ask me, the NFA has more than 33 committees. If you ask them how many of such committees are meeting, they don't meet. But you hear decisions taken on behalf of Nigerian football, which by standard, by administrative management, by global practice, if you have a committee, allow the committee to do the work. The secretariat of the NFA, they don't allow them, the heads of department, to do their work. They are virtually non-existent.
The minister seems to be on your own side as well, the Minister of Sports. Apparently he is also not too happy about the way the new coach was introduced into Nigerian football. Would you think he is right?
No, for me, honestly, the Minister of Sports has been pretentious. He's been too pretentious. If as a Minister of Sports, a parastatal, because let him understand this, and I want, if he is watching this program, to understand the Minister of Sports of Nigeria has a duty. Nigerian Port Authority cannot mess around with Amechi the way NFA is messing around with Sondedare. Federal Airport Authority cannot mess around with Hadis Rika the way they are NFA is messing around with Sondedare. As at today, the laws of the Federal Republic of Nigeria still tells us that the Nigerian Football Association is a parastatal under the government. And since it is a parastatal under the government, they are subservient to the minister, and the NFA Act 2004 clearly states that the executive committee of the Nigerian Football Association, or whatever name that it is called, is subservient to the instruction and direction of the minister. I don't care about FIFA status. The FIFA status they import into Nigeria to show that government or the minister doesn't have powers over NFA is not domesticated. The Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, which is the sovereign instrument that guides our existence as a country, provides that if there is any law, convention, or protocol that is imported into Nigeria, it must be domesticated by the National Assembly. The NFA, the FIFA status, the FIFA rules is not domesticated. So we have been operating under illegality. Today, they said their names is Nigerian Football Federation, which is wrong. Nigerian Football Federation is not known to law. From the day they answered that Nigerian Football Federation, till this time, as I am speaking, the situation between the Ministry of Sports, the NFA, has put Nigeria's sovereignty to test.
You were 2 times chairman, Gombe Football Club. And what happened? You were sacked.
No. Actually, I was 2 times as chairman of Gombe United Football Club, and also I was chairman of Gombe State Football Association.
Yes. Where have you taken this?
That's what led me to even become an advisor in another state, special advisor on sports to the governor of Kano State. Not in Gombe, but in Kano.
Has Gombe United brought in any player to the national football team?
Yes.
Have they been responsible?
Of course, they have brought in Manu Garba played, Haruna played, Baba Didi played also, only that he got injury and disappeared, and also Benjamin Agada, all these players that emerged from Gombe. So I'm trying to tell you, in Gombe State Football Association, I was not sacked. It was the NFA from here, the people from here that just wrote a letter to Gombe. They say I was overbearing. I was just asking questions. You can imagine we went for Congress and they will come and tell us that, look, we have spent 2 billion last year somebody will get up from one corner of the room to move for adoption of the report. Another one will get up from one corner of the room to move for secondment. And how can you say you have treated an audited account of a 2 billion expenditure in 5 minutes? They say I was bearing there. The next thing they say, this man should just leave to go. And so they wait, just a letter till today.
Pick a question. Just pick one. Okay, you've picked it.
I open it.
Open and read.
Do you still remember how to operate the computer after all these years in sports? Of course, I do. In fact, I'll tell you a story briefly. When Dr. Amos Adamu was appointed as the sole administrator of the Nigerian Football Association in Lagos, I went to his office in Ogolana Drive in Surulere. And I said, sir, I have seen all the operations in the NFA were on analog typewriters and rest of it. You don't have a computer. I say, you need a computer in NFA. He said, yes, he also thinks so. And I say, for instance, now, if I ask you, sir, how many goals has Rashid Yekini scored for Nigeria? That time, Rashid Yekini was even alive. We will not know, but if we have a computer, we can store those data. He accepted. And he asked for a proposal from me. That time I was in charge of marketing in Linsa Computronics systems in Lagos.
So suddenly you became a contractor.
And I became a contractor. But you know what? They didn't give me the job. I traveled. When I came back, somebody else was the one who supplied the computers, unfortunately. When Nigeria came back from Spain, late Chief Alex Ekinyele, may his soul rest in peace, was the chairman of National Sports Commission. And the moment he came back, he said that we have to start preparation early towards Atlanta 96. And he forms a committee and appointed Alasan Yakumut as the executive secretary of that committee and keep provided department. And that time, so I went to see him because Chief Alex Ekinyele is somebody I respect so much. He's one of my models. And he said, Shuaibu, you are into computers. Say, okay, please go and see Alasan and see how you can help us establish computers in that secretariat. And I went to Alasan Yakumut. And that was the first contract I did as a computer vendor to supply computers to that department for the Atlanta 96 committee under Alasan Yakumut, which was influenced by late Chief Alex Ekinyele. And I can tell you, that move he did, starting preparation early, we started preparation for 96. That was why we got the successes we recorded in Atlanta 96. We got our first gold medal in Olympics. We got our first gold medal in football, and giving Africa its first gold medal. And so all the successes, it was a result of what led Alex Ekinyele. And that is why they don't do that now.
It's not in your nature, but this is a very, very unpalatable story about you. Match fixing. You were involved in match fixing.
No. I told you earlier, I re-established Bubero Warriors Football Club. When I established Bubero Warriors this in football club, I did not re-establish it to play competition. I established it for developmental purpose.
Gambling?
Just to be scouting, giving young people opportunity to play football and identify the talents. That is just what I established. Then suddenly, since I don't live in Gombe, but I have a management team that I gave them and support them. In this house, I still have the passports of about 11 of the players of that Fupero. So they now came to me and called me and said that they want to play in the National League Division 1. I said, no, that is not one. You can play in any league in Gombe, but don't go outside that. Unfortunately, when I was in Lagos, I read on Facebook that Bubero Warriors Football Club are already in Bauchi to play playoffs into the National League. I then called my vice chairman. There's somebody I appointed as vice chairman. I then asked him, who gave them the permission to travel to Bauchi from Gombe? Where did they even get the money? Then later I was told it was a conspiracy, so to say, perhaps to destroy what I have started. The chairman of the sports commission then, one Farouk Germa, was the one who gave them 50,000 naira to travel to Bauchi without my knowledge who is the proprietor of the club. So when they went to Bauchi, before my vice chairman goes there to have a meeting with them, sorry, my vice chairman went to Bauchi from Gombe. He had a meeting with them. He said, he has spoken to me that I was in Lagos, and my instruction is that they should travel back to Gombe immediately. They said, but they have already qualified. I said, no. Tell them the team that they played in the finals in Gombe, who I think whether they are Kalshingi United or one of the clubs, should go and represent Gombe in that playoff, but not Bubai Rowari. They should go back. They refused against my instructions. The following day, I wrote on Chinese television. Chinese television.
How did you understand what they were saying on that?
No. English.
Okay.
English, Chinese channel, talking about a club in Nigeria, Bubai Rowari Football Club. That's how I came to first saw it, that were scored 75-0, 75-1. I was so shocked. So I tried to find out, is it my own Bubai? Today said that the whole thing has gone global because it's somehow, if you like, 9 or 10 wonders of the world, that a team is losing 75-1. So I had to ask. Then I was told, yes, it was really my club. The first thing that I did, I wrote a letter to NFA informing them that I have disbanded the team. And I copied CAF and I copied FIFA. That was the first step that I took. So when the whole story goes around, people asked me, Vanguard interviewed me, Guardian interviewed me, and so many other channels. Then FIFA called me too.
Did you watch the match?
I didn't watch it. How am I going to watch it? FIFA called me also to thank me for the steps that I have taken. Then later the NFA set up a committee to investigate under a first vice chairman of NFA, then Chief Mike Ume. Then they interviewed, they invited all the players, the coaches of the teams that are involved, and the committee sat, and at the end of the day, they banned them, some for 10 years, some for life, the referees and everybody. Not only that, one of the teams that took place in that is a police machine team. I wrote a letter to MD Abubakar, the then Inspector General of Police, a petition to him, asking him to investigate, including Bubai Warriors Football Club, investigate the police team, including our own teams, to find out, because match fixing is an offense. It's a criminal offense. I want him to investigate. And when I wrote that letter to the Inspector General of Police, I copied the NFA, I copied CAP, and I copied FIFA. That was what transpired, and that is what I know. The report of the NFA, the letters I have written to FIFA and CAP, I have all given them the details. I've given them the records and recipe. The NFA that see me as one of their #1 critic and antagonist could exonerate me from this match fixing thing, then you should know that I wasn't involved.
So you're going to be cast away to an island for about 10 days, 2 weeks. And you don't have all the time. You are just allowed to pick 5 things that are very important to you for this period of time you'll be away. What are these things?
I will take my Quran.
Okay.
I will take my laptop.
Okay.
I will take my first aid box.
All right.
I will take my diary.
All right.
And lastly, my phone.
Okay, so Gara Gombe, thank you very much
My
for being
pleasure.
on this program.
It's my pleasure, Manny.
Well, we have enjoyed your thoughts on football. You're once former chairman of Gombe Football Club. And that's been my guests, Ahmed Gara Gombe, on the chat. I am Manny. See you again. The Chat is produced by Channels Television. You can watch it again online. Just visit our social media platforms, YouTube, Facebook.